Cult. It has a V, but it's pronounced with a U. C-U-L-T. Okay, fine. This is a trick-taking game where it's a competitive trick-taking game, which is most trick-taking games, and the gods are giving us visions, and we need to build a temple. I'm not 100% sure. I guess these are cults of the ancient gods, the ancient Roman gods. But anyway, let's see how it plays.
In this game, players are going to play 3 rounds. You're going to be playing with a deck of cards that have 4 different suits, and the high number of each one is going to depend on the number of people playing. When you play a card on your turn, when you play a trick, one person will lead and everyone else has to follow suit unless you don't have it, in which case you play another color. And whoever plays the highest card from that wins that trick, unless somebody else plays a card from a different suit that's the same number as the one that's led. Then they're trump, and the last person to play trump wins. Now, when you win the trick, you'll lead the next trick, but more importantly, you will take one of the cards here, and in clockwise order, each other person will take a card. Everyone's going to be getting 8 cards because there's 8 tricks in a round. 4 of these cards are going to go into your dream pile. When you take it, you decide if it goes in your dream pile or if it's going to be a card you score that round. The dream pile matters because those 4 cards are going to come back in your hand for the next round. Now, at the beginning of a round, we're going to turn up some of these God cards here. 1, 2, 3. You'll turn over 2 more than the number of players. So if it's a 4-player game, we turn over 6. And then everyone except for the person who goes first is going to pick one to go away, and there will be 3 left over. These will give points at the end of a round, looking at the cards in your dream. Here, the fewest fire cards in my dream, I will score points for this. Have the most even value cards in dreams, scoring points for that. This one's different, has a triangle on it. If you win a trick with a fire card, you get it, but someone else could also win a trick with a fire card and take it back. And eventually, someone's going to have it at the end of the round. They're the one to get points. The cards that you set aside for scoring are going to be placed at the end of a round up here. Now, this matters because let's say an 11 gets placed up here. That will not score any points. The only way you score points here is if all the cards are there already, which are lower than that, which means a 1 will always score. I'll get 1 point. If later on someone plays a 3, they get no points. But then if someone plays a 2, that person will get 2 points. Someone else plays a 6, they don't score any points. But if the 4, 5 are there already, then you'll get points. So at the beginning, you'll probably want to send low cards here because they'll probably score. But if there's like 1 through 8 here, playing a 9 will get you 9 points. So you're going to do this for 3 rounds, and there's a few other rules to the game, especially with the scoring of divisions and things like that, but whoever has the most points is the winner.
So Cult is an interesting game, and it for me, I'm going to get my score right away so you can see where I'm coming from. I'm giving it a 5.5. I rarely give 5.5s, but what I mean is I don't love this game, but it's so close to me saying it's okay. But where it all comes down to is I feel there's too much going on. I love trick-taking games, a lot of them, but my big fan of trick-taking games is simplicity, and I don't mind twists on that simplicity. But here I feel like there's a lot of good ideas in here, but do they need to be in the same game? Hey, there's 4 dream cards, and I win those, but that's cool. The cards I win, they go in my hand for the next turn. But that's just one part of the game. Hey, there's several scoring cards. Everyone but the lead player gets to get rid of one of them. Oh, that's neat. But that's not it. That's the only part of the game. There's the scoring, and I actually really dislike the offering scoring. So that also brings me down a bit, where you place those cards out there, and so 1 will always score. A 14 will only score if 1 through 13 is played. So I can sit there and go, I should keep this card in my dream cards, and then I can play it later on, but all someone has to do is take the 13 and never play. And that happens. And there's very much a take that moment when I see you have the 14 in your dream cards, and I'm like, I have the 7. It's the only card that hasn't been played out there yet. It's never going to get played. And that's fine, but what it means is most of the scoring from those comes low, or someone's going to score very high. You know, I got a 13 and no one else did. I got a whole lot of points from that. I don't know. I just that part didn't really jive with me because you are seeing what everyone does and put those cards in their scoring area, and you know where they're going. And I don't know, that part, and it's a big part of the game. The scoring for the gods, I thought, the visions, that's interesting. And the keeping some cards for next turn, although in the last turn you're not keeping them for the next turn, but then you score for the cards that are in your dream, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And you're setting up from round 1 to round 2 to round 3, so that works too. The other thing I'm not a huge fan of is the turn order of taking the cards. Someone wins a trick, they get the first card. Why are we then picking clockwise? I'm not happy that this person here to my left won the trick. Why am I picking last? That's more of a minor gripe, but it can be annoying when you get stuck with a card you don't care about. The draft is interesting, though, because do you want a 1 that you can then score later on? And the fact that when you get the card right away, you have to decide whether it goes in your dreams or you put it in another pot. There's a lot of interesting concepts in this game. I just think it comes together to be too convoluted for me. I just didn't find it to be snappy. I felt like it's slow to a crawl. And I have to say I don't like it, but barely. So maybe I've seen other people really enjoying it. I'm also not a huge fan of the graphic design or anything like that. So that's Cult, a trick-taking game. It might be for you, though. Check it out.